I'm sitting here today at the square in Kristiansand, May 23rd, 2026. This is not a speech for people passing by. It's a speech for those who are actually watching me now. Perhaps in a control center, perhaps through PST, the police security service here in the city, maybe those who work in the municipality, the general practitioner scheme, all those who have the opportunity to watch this, perhaps through a recording. Listen carefully to what I have to say, because it is very important for all the citizens of this country, and it is very important for all people who desire freedom, freedom of religion, freedom of expression, freedom of thought. What I am about to say to you now is very important. It concerns my wife, my dear wife Anita, who at this moment is 59 years old. She is a grandmother to 6 children and 4 wonderful adult children. I'm doing this in a way against my will. It is not in my nature to sit here in the square and speak like this. It is very difficult for me, but I feel I have to, because I am not only defending her, I am defending hundreds of thousands of people around the world, yes, millions of people who are actually trapped inside a system they cannot get out of. I want to tell a little story, what I personally experienced a week ago, which is the reason I am sitting here now, outside what you see in the picture here, the Kingdom Hall. The Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses, which is located 100 meters behind here. You see the sign, the blue sign, JV.org. That is Jehovah's Witnesses. A week ago, I received a text message from my wife. Last Saturday, I drove as fast as I possibly could, pushing my car to its absolute limit. I broke every single speed limit on the way. And when I finally got home, it was a truly heartbreaking and sad sight that I saw. Anita, my dear wife, this incredibly beautiful woman, she could have been gone from this world today because of the strict religious community that I was a part of just a couple of years ago. Anita is still alive today, and thankfully she's doing okay now. But I have to ask myself, why? Why did I almost lose my beloved wife to such overwhelming grief? It was because she lost her children, all 4 of her precious children, and her 6 young grandchildren. All on that one fateful day when Anita, my wife, simply asked a question. It was a single honest question asked deep inside the Jehovah's Witnesses congregation located in Christiania. In the Vågsbygd congregation, she asked a question to the elders in 2020. Why are we required by our spiritual leaders, a certain number of thousands of kilometers away on the other side of the globe, 11 spiritual leaders, the governing body as they call themselves, why did they require us at that time to take some vaccines, a medical treatment that they themselves say we should be allowed to decide on ourselves? We are supposed to make our own decision about whether we want a medical treatment or not. We said no, and then we became unpopular. We asked questions, my wife and I, especially Anita. How did they respond to us then? They responded with silence. They were silent. My wife sent emails, sent text messages, letters. There was silence. They didn't want to respond because the order from their spiritual leaders in the USA instructed them to get vaccinated. Vaccines are fine. We don't interfere with that because that's not what this is about. But it's a personal choice that we should have been allowed to make ourselves, something they themselves have stated. What was the result of us speaking out? And especially me in the congregation here in the Jehovah's Witnesses congregation in Norway. Well, I was disfellowshipped from the congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses. I was disfellowshipped for asking a question. Then I had a stroke, and I have significant after effects from what happened after that stroke. My memory is poor, my health has failed in many ways, but I'm still on my feet. But what's worse is that it's not about me, it's about my wife. Because my wife, my dear beautiful Anita, she has lost her children. She has lost her grandchildren because they no longer want to have any contact with her. Anita's children don't answer the phone. They don't respond on social media. They have blocked her on Facebook, 0 contact. We're not allowed to have our grandchildren visit us. For overnight stays, no contact. If we show up at their door, what do they say? Are we welcomed in? No, they politely close the door and say that we have left Jehovah's organization, that we are apostates. One day, I met the father-in-law of one of Anita's children. He just said to me, coldly and curtly, a man from Bergen who attends the Lund congregation, how do you respond to that? Johnny, I see you as an apostate, and then he just walked away. And in Jehovah's Witnesses, they're not allowed to resign. It's basically physically impossible. It's completely impossible because of the consequences of the choice you make yourself. It's impossible to face. It's social isolation. You're not allowed to meet, see, or have a social life with the people you care about the most. And that's how it really is, even though those who stand at the booth. When you look at Jehovah's Witnesses, they often stand there looking so incredibly proper and nice. But it's actually called a facade, a form of facade love within a facade organization. That is the harsh reality we see in 2026, and it is now clearer than it has ever been before. But it goes much further than just that. People in there, not just in the country of Norway, but all over the entire world, are literally dying for their faith. If you happen to lose blood and need a transfusion, you come to the hospital and you politely and properly say, because your religious conviction tells you to, I don't want blood because I want to be loyal to my God above all. Anita's daughter experienced this. She gave birth to a child. Her hemoglobin level was catastrophically low. She needed full blood medical treatment. She died until a brave surgeon at Kristiansand, her hospital, a female surgeon who likely has children herself, said, I can't watch this. I am willing to lose my job so that this little girl who was born in 2014 can actually have a mother to grow up with. This is true. There is a creator, a God, the God of earth and heaven, and his son knows that what is being said is true, because I'm a bit unusual, but I can't lie. I have been one of Jehovah's Witnesses myself for 50 years now, and I know what I'm talking about. I have stood on the podium in the Kingdom Hall many times and given speeches. I know what I'm talking about. I have participated in construction projects. I have been in full-time service, as it's called. I know what I'm talking about, and unfortunately what I am talking about now to my own people is terrible. It is truly horrible, it is deeply sad, but unfortunately it is a harsh reality, an undeniable fact that absolutely no one can deny. How is the situation looking right now? What exactly do we do next? The Jehovah's Witnesses have officially sued the state because they have lost their legal registration as a recognized religious community. Consequently, they have also lost all of their vital government funding and support. And the registration, so they used a skilled secular lawyer, Anders Risdal, who stands in court and lies, and took the case all the way up to the Supreme Court in Oslo. And there it was the judge, a corrupt judge, who decided the case in favor of Jehovah's Witnesses, of course, because they never do anything wrong. Even though your people can't get out, they can't speak up, because they know that if they do, that they themselves will be, in English, what is known as disfellowshipped. This means they get completely shunned by everyone they know. They lose all their previous privileges and face total social isolation. Consequently, many of these individuals develop severe post-traumatic stress and deep emotional trauma from the experience. Tragically, some even die from it because they simply can't take the pain anymore. They end up taking their own lives. Speaking personally, my name is Johnny Sandbakk, and two friends of mine took their own lives because they were expelled, they were shunned, and in a way, they were not welcome back in the Kingdom Hall because they struggled with trauma, they struggled with stress in their bodies, they couldn't handle the burden of coming into the Kingdom Hall where no one greeted them. Friends visited Jehovah, were told to smile at them and keep up appearances, but a normal conversation, no love. It's a facade of love, you guys. And you witnesses know it, that I'm sitting here, I'm telling the truth. And there's a reason why you, in this town and around the world, have negative thoughts about Jehovah's Witnesses. Because they put themselves above everyone else. They kind of sit on Moses' seat and think they're better. They think they own the truth. They even call it the truth. We have the truth. In a way, they've bought the domain, the rights to the truth, to the word truth. But the truth they promote is human thinking. It's not God's thinking. You won't find these ideas in the Bible. You just won't. Unfortunately, I have to say it out loud. Speaking directly into this microphone here in the city of Kristiansand on the day of May 23rd in the year 2026. I truly do not have much more to say at this moment, except for the fact that what I am saying right now will eventually come back to them. And it will happen very quickly, indeed extremely quickly. This is because what I am saying now will throw a powerful firebrand into the entire environment you see right back there. Jehovah's Witnesses, whether you call them Jehovah's Witnesses, Jehovah's Zeugen in German, or Testigos de Jehovah in Spanish, I honestly don't know any others, as I can't speak any more languages than those. But that religious system there, it is a deeply corrupt, thoroughly manipulative system, hidden behind a very beautiful facade. It is finally starting to crumble and go down now. I truly appreciate you taking the time to listen to me today. When I came here, now I'm standing on the platform here, on the pavilion outside. They call it the Kingdom Hall. The Kingdom Hall is still back there. When I came here, I was promised by the municipality that inside this cabinet here, everything would be sorted out. There you have electricity. There you have an outlet sticking out. And here you can see the outlet. Here you have the hatch. I can understand myself how the system... Here you have the outlet that I was allowed to use. Here there's electricity. Yes, so I am what my wife calls a handyman. So never ever put your tongue on it like this, because then you might get 250 volts of alternating current in you. Very, very dangerous. But my point is, I get the impression that there is someone here who is messing with me. Yes,